Welcome back, everyone. Division One of the CSC Challenger Series. It seems like it's been forever, Sean, since we've done this. Welcome back, buddy.
I'm just happy that the last thing I said did not actually make the stream. I had to make sure that. Hey, what's up, bud? How we doing, dude? The band is back together. I'm excited. It's been way too long. I've been waiting to see your beautiful faces on my screen for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it's been. But my goodness, we're back in action. We got a great third place matchup. Rick Henze quietly again just getting his way to the king seat match. unfortunately loses to Leonard Gates in a last leg decider with the throw. He had the throw, and Gates just did what Gates does and steals it at the end. But we have a rematch, buddy, of third place from the last season of CSC Challenger Series. Actually, the top three are the exact same. We got Kenny Doyle pulling the upset on Friday of last week against Jeremiah Millar, who was under the weather for quite a few days before that. It was unfortunate that we couldn't stream it. It was unfortunate that he ended up in that position, but he had a phenomenal CSC Challenger Series season. He did make a comment about not being on the next season, but I hope that is not true and that he ends up on the next season of the CSC Challenger Series, because he only makes it better. And I just want to give him props. He supported us throughout the entire season. He was very formidable and very open and honest with everything that we were doing, and it was really cool to have him. So I want to give him a shout out real quick. But Sunshine State Santa gets it done again. It's 9-4 victory too, and here we are, bud. We're here. This is where we wanted to be last 2 weeks, maybe last 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is where we're finally here. We're finally here with Rick Kinsey versus Kenny Doyle. An exciting affair that we're looking forward to this evening. As you call him, Big Easy, Mr. Rick Kinsey. Seems just so smooth with it. He'll be in action this evening versus, of course, you said it, Sunshine State's Santa Claus. So looking forward to this duel between these two individuals, as both can score hefty, and it shows on our averages for the CSC Challenger Series, with Rick Kinsey scoring a 5.43 MPR compared to Kenny Doyle's 5.31.
Yeah, it doesn't get much closer to that when you get down to the end of this, especially with how high those averages are. The difference in the stats I'm about to pull for you is 22 games. And I want to make that perfectly clear that there's a 22 game difference between the players. Kenny Doyle has played 88 games. Rick Henze has played 66. But Rick Henze has 56 marks, which is a lot, especially when you think Kenny Doyle is leading with 69. Only 13 more, because I can do math, and 22 less games. 121 7 marks, 122 5 marks. Now, here is the crazy stat for Kenny Doyle. He has 157 7 marks and only 135 5 marks. He has a much better chance of getting a 7 mark in a round than a 5 mark. That's crazy. That is craziness, dude.
Insanity, isn't it? It's just crazy when you think about it. But that's what the CSC Challenger Series brings out in individuals, is just a fantastic scoring average when you're talking a race to 9 each time you come and play in a match here. It's just incredible. So before we get too far into this one, I did want to mention a big shout out to Aaron Ham, who actually won our Division 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get that streamed between his match and Jeff Burning, as we didn't have a streaming location near either of those individuals to get that action to you all. But nonetheless, we did want to give a big shout out to Division 2 winner Aaron Ham, who played really well the whole time, earning the king's seat, and then winning it all together in Division 2.
We mentioned early on in the CSC Challenger Series Division 2 season just how close those averages were. And for a player to not lose a single match and roll through that, especially first timer on the CSC Challenger Series, and Aaron Ham, he's from Rochester, New York, which is, I guess, how they say it up there instead of Rochester. I was corrected numerous times when I was at the Knox Amusement tournament last year in Batavia. So Knox Amusements, Aaron Ham getting it done, as you're seeing the count up right here. And if you've never watched before, let's go over the format and specific rules for the CSC Challenger Series. It is a double elimination style tournament. Players play a race to 9, best of 17 legs, all cricket, with a cork or 3-dart count up to start the match. You can see this one's going to go to Kenny Doyle. The loser of the previous leg will start the next leg after that. If either player is down 3 or more legs, they will continue to go first until the deficit is reduced to 2. This is the PPD player advantage rule. If we go the distance and we go for speed, players will cork to start the last leg decider. The loser tonight, buddy, you feel bad, but you don't feel that bad. They go away with a cool $1,750. Not bad. Not a bad night of work.
No, not at all. I'll take that any day of the week, as it actually looks like we've got a few PPD participants in the background of the Skybox. Looks like Wendy's back there, the owner of Skybox, Nick Selepic, and Meredith McGee Hale back there as well. So big shout out to those two fine individuals. It looks like they're listening as well. Now here's the fact.
Beautiful souls.
Here's the factor that I want to know, Sean, and I want to know if this plays any part in this match this evening. Rick Henze has been waiting a little while before his last match. Do you think that plays a part into this bad boy?
I actually am really curious to know what he was doing in this 4-week, 5-week gap, right? Because he has such momentum, such a high. Even though he lost to Leonard Gates, he should have won that match. He'll say it. I'm going to say it right now. He should have won that match. He knows it. And then you get this lull of 5 weeks in between with the TOC Tournament Champions, which was amazing. And then, of course, the week off there as we get our first boom goes the dynamite there for Kenny Doyle. Leg number 1 gets it started. But I agree with you. I think it really might affect Rick Henze. That being said, Rick Henze is playing darts all the time. He loves the game. He's doing everything he can to play as often as possible, I'm sure. And with that throw that he has, the consistency, the fluidness, the big, easy way that he lets that dart get to the dartboard, I just really think that he'll be on his A game no matter what. And Kenny Doyle doing great.
Both these players, I had a chance to talk to you a little bit before their interviews. I'm very chummy with both these guys nowadays. And Rick Henze, I said, hey, I'm sorry you had to wait so long before your match. I'm glad we're back in the swing of things. And he's like, honestly, I kind of wanted the break. So that's kind of his approach here. I think he wanted a little bit of breather after TOC, after a tough tournament. And he's really okay with the fact that there was a slight gap there. And Kenny, I asked him about his mentality, and he's like, people keep asking me, are you feeling a lot of pressure? Are you feeling nervous? Anything like that. He's like, I got to the top 4. I'm in the $1,000 range. I'm okay now. That's exactly his lackadaisical approach. So I think both these guys are kind of just comfortable and ready to spar it out.
Hey, whoever wins the opportunity to take on Leonard Gates, which is never a fun affair. So I sure don't envy whoever is going to be playing him next week. I know they're excited to do so and they're ready for that battle, but that's a lot of hard work. And I don't know if you noticed the chat already, but Continental Cup champion for 2022, Alex Spellman, the Jackal in the chat, automatically correcting me on the pronunciation of the city that he is from, which is Fuquay-Varina, not Fuquay-Varina. Although I will be honest, Alex, I looked it up on Google, and Google pronounced it Fuquay. So Google is not right all of the time, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we'll see what Rick Henze can do here. As he's got an opportunity to take a stab at the 17s. He does so early. Did you see that? Wow. Oh, he's going to want that opportunity back. But I'll tell you this for a fact. Rick Henze wants the opportunity to play Gates one more time, if not 2 more times, because he feels like he should have had that first one. He knows he should have had that first one. You mentioned it before. But, yeah, Rick Henze, a guy that's been playing often on the Graham board. He's starting to dabble in steel tip. I think he made it far in the DPFL playoff if he's not still in it. So I wanted to mention that as well. So a guy that's always active. I know Kenny is the same. He just kind of gets around and throws all day, every day. So looking forward to this match as it plays out here.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if the lag has to do with maybe my sound particularly. It might not be. We're getting some comments in the chat. But Michael Walters is one of them, so he's probably wrong. But yeah, I'm having a little bit slower internet than typical, so now I'm worried it's my fault.
We'll see. We'll see here how this plays out. Nice little hat trick from Rick Henze, but is it enough? I don't believe so. Kenny Doyle looking for the 1, 2, 3 for a +5 average on the first leg.
Well, he's not going to get a look at it there, but Henze needs 4 bowls just to tie up the scoreline, 5 to take the scoreline lead, and then he's got to hope again for a couple of Kenny Doyle misses, which is never a good thing to hope for. that is going to be a rare occurrence, and I could see Kenny taking it down in 2 darts right here.
Easier said than done, honestly. Yep, boom. Winner win at chicken dinner, 5.06 for Kenny Doyle in this first leg. Hey, Sean, I wanted to mention the surprising, draw we had for our TOC finale. And it's actually Rick Henze and Aaron Ham drew each other. So Division 2 winner and Division 1 currently top 3 individual and Rick Kinsey got teamed up to TOC finale, and it was fun to see how far they would go. I don't believe they would win as far as they would have liked, but still that kind of blind draw format we had for that finale was very interesting and fun, wasn't it?
It was so cool. It was awesome to see just how much money was at stake and how much it meant to the players, and you could see actual pressure, even on the shoulders of PDC professional Jules Van Dongen. Had a lot of pressure on him in the CSI and then also in the TOC finale. It was so cool to meet everyone, to see that draw. But yeah, it's honestly shocking how Aaron Ham and Rick Kinsey didn't make it further along in the bracket. That being said, it's last day. It's tough to keep rolling 4 days straight. It really is.
Certainly is. Shout out to Jules Van Dongen and Dario Meza winning 10 grand a piece, winning that men's elite finale, and then Abby Spot and Hunter Smith winning our women's elite finale, 10 grand a piece for them as well. And we also had our masters and our pro division that battled it out for some good money as well. So special mention to all those individuals there.
Absolutely. And now we got ourselves the CSC Challenger Series semifinal. And Rick Henze rolling here in leg number 2. Is this going to be a storyline where whoever wins this match is going to be the one that breaks the throw? Unless it's Kenny Doyle, who will win at 9-8 if he doesn't break any throws, And actually, Rick Henze could do the same thing. They don't need to break a throw to win this match based on the diddle to start the last leg decider.
That's the thing we saw in the past is Rick Kinsey is one of those guys that just kind of goes with his throw, really plays well with his throw, and then tries to take advantage here and there when he can. We saw him do it against Gates. He broke twice, but in the end, it wasn't quite enough to win the day. So we'll see what he does here. I think Rick, if I'm going to call this out, I think Kenny has the advantage in the early legs, but I'm going to say Rick's going to get this 9-7. If I would have to say one, as Nick's going to laugh here in just a moment.
What a bold prediction
Nick,
to have the view in the behind you.
And tell Kenny exactly what I just said.
Kenny's going to win 9-1 because we have to see them potentially give us middle fingers in the background if the predictions are not like that. So, just not that they'd ever do that to us, but Kenny might if he's able to hear this.
Yeah, just big mention to Skybox as that's where we're viewing in on tonight from Kenny Doyle's perspective. Rick's from Little Falls, Minnesota. Can't remember the bar he's out of, but we unfortunately don't have a streaming setup there
Rusty Saloon,
yet.
I believe, correct?
Okay, there we go. Appreciate it. I thought you might have that information. So we'll be taking this view this evening, but like I mentioned in previous streams, we're looking forward to kind of doubling down on our streaming cameras for our next CSC. So looking forward to adding more bars into the mix. Hit up the PPD if you're wanting to get some of those cameras added to your mix.
Well, Rick Henze getting the first 9 mark on the board. You love to see that. And I'm going to avoid saying it that time. But Ray Morgan in our chat helping us out there. We get this question whenever we only have one viewpoint. The streaming setups are only in certain bars, certain locations. And there is one at Skybox Tavern. That's why we get the beautiful viewpoint of Kenny Doyle. But there is not one at the Rustic Saloon. So therefore, we can only have this viewpoint for you with Rick kind of in that bottom corner screen. we would love to see that throw up close and personal. So if the
Well,
Rustic Saloon would like to get some streaming equipment in there, that'd be awesome.
And to piggyback off that real quick, just know someone that's been talking behind the scenes, and you guys have been as well with the PPD, there is a lot of stuff in store for the cameras upcoming as far as making it more affordable and trying to highlight more regions, especially regions that don't already have cameras as well. So please, if you thought about it, if you watch the show, reach out to PPD because they are trying their best to make sure we get all across America and hopefully eventually at least all the continental a part of this. That's the goal.
Well, look at that, lighting the fuse and setting off the dynamites. Kenny Doyle with the second 9 mark on the evening. Oh, Scott Hanish, I hate you. Did you see that someone heard their ears a burning as Jules Van Dongen is watching along with us here? And again, a shout out to him, first of all, for a fantastic weekend this past weekend in the Players Championships. Those last 4 days, he actually had a couple of great runs there, which was really cool to see. And then, of course, winning the most money by far of any other player at TOC a few weeks ago was pretty cool. So shout out, buddy.
Well, let's just say it, bud. When you've got so much money rolling through this system right now, it's no wonder we're starting to get a lot of big names in our chat checking in and seeing how things are going. Kind of wanting to know how to get involved, that kind of thing. So if you're kind of interested in getting involved, maybe not on the elite level, maybe you are interested in getting involved on the elite level, dartstoc.com. Reach out, see if there's a vendor in your area. If there's not, we can help you out still. Just reach out to dartstoc.com and see how you can get aboard in your area.
And we might lose our sponsorship if we don't actually say this finally, but guys, A to Z Darts is sponsoring our live stream still, and it's Halloween is right around the corner. You can shop all things Halloween themed over at atozdarts.com. Just click the just in time for October banner on their homepage. A to Z is featuring brand new Freddy Krueger and It Killer Clown flights, plus all of their breast cancer awareness products. A to Z Darts also came up with the Think Pink promotion for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Buy any 2 select printed L-style flights on sale and get a free goodie bag, which includes flights, Laro shafts, and tips. This is about an $80 value of free stuff. So think pink this month.
Oh my gosh. These last 2 rounds have been phenomenal. And look at that.
Steals it.
So Rick, with some gutsy play, some big play, I think it was a 7 mark, to force the hand of Kenny Doyle. Kenny responds. He hits a double bull to start, trip 18, trip 15 to close everything out except for the bulls. And Rick answers with a double bull, single bull to win the leg. What an appetizing leg there, Sean.
So you're telling me it was a bad time to do the ad read. Got it. Noted.
It was bad, but hey, you got to get it done, sir.
I was waiting for the right moment, and it had happened for so long, and I was like, uh-oh, I forgot again, so I thought I'd do it right away. And then, hey, ADHD is a real thing, and it's a battle that I face on a daily basis. But we're also doing a live stream giveaway tonight, courtesy of atozdarts.com. Tonight's raffle winner will receive a set of Target Vapor 8 black purple soft tip darts in an 18-gram weight. All you got to do is leave a comment in the chat, hit that like button, and you are automatically entered for your chance to win. So just let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know who you got in this one. Give us a scoreline prediction. John Mink in the house, what you going to do? Along with all these other great people. William Vollmer, Justin Downing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, but nice to see our numbers are right back where they should be. 600 plus tuning in this evening. We definitely appreciate all the love, folks. Nice to be back at it again here for just a couple more streams. We're down to possibly our last 2 streams, last 3 streams here for this CSC season. So looking forward to the next one. That's just down the road. February is what we're eyeballing for that one, folks. So get your games in. Get your games in and come see us. We'd love to have you.
Look at this right here. Chris Jett in the chat, indie legend. There's Yeah, you see that from Mike
You're
Maloney?
right. The
Like he doesn't know
audacity.
when it happens. Boom
The
goes the dynamite, Rick Henze.
audacity. I love it. I love it. That's great.
Mansfield, Ohio in the chat. Tree City. Did you see Porky's watching from Stuart, Montana?
I highly doubt that, but he's probably tuning in from his living room in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin. Boom goes the dynamite again for Rick Henze. Back to back for him.
It's the old Sean Green we know and love. At least drop us one or two of the booms before people go stir crazy and wonder what happened. They're starting to think the CDC changed you.
Look at that. It is late night in España. As we have Adrian tuning in with us.
Rick potentially putting himself in good hands. Let's see. Kenny's got to score at the triple here. He does. Does he take a shot? He stays right there. Now I wonder what Henze does here.
Point lead. Oh, no. Wrong already.
Don't think that, because Henze will scare you. Henze will do something off the wall. Henze told me at the Booyah Cup when I was about to commentate his match, he said, hey, don't guess where I'm going to go. I said, why? He says, you won't be right.
So do you think that's a purposeful strategy for him this evening to kind of throw off Kenny?
It very much could be. He's going to probably put his opponent against the wall because look at this, buddy. Oh, if he didn't drop that, I wonder if he stays in the 16s now. He potentially will stay on the 16s. Yep. If he didn't drop that dart, I think he would have went to the 17s. That's just kind of the player Henze is. He's not afraid to take a risk because he thinks he has nothing to lose against these guys.
Oh, look at this from Kenny Doyle. Stays there for all three. Boom goes the dynamite. All right, now I'm done it. Now I've done it too much. That's the third one in the leg. Now you guys aren't hoping for it anymore, are you?
There's an individual we need to get in this CSC, Mr. Chip Anderson of North Dakota. Would love to see him. Maybe a Dason Alberts get on this bad boy. Get Don in on here. Oh, ooh! Don't tempt me with a good time.
Oh, I don't know if the stream can handle the gun show. My partner in crime, Jason Ives, says, use them all up tonight, saying, don't say them tomorrow. Well, too late, because now I'm definitely going to. Kenny Doyle, point lead, bigger point lead, even bigger point lead, and 16s. There they go, back to back for Kenny Doyle. Sunshine State Santa is adding Rick's name to the naughtiness list right now.
Here's Henze. Oh, granted, the 9 wouldn't have, taken the lead though, but it would have been just like, hey, I can do that too. I'm right here with you.
Look at this, over 1,000 points for Kenny Doyle, and back to back 9 marks for Kenny Doyle in this leg, throwing a 6.42 to a 6.73. That is losing this leg. My oh my! Do you think they're warm now?
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if we have 3, possibly 4 of these 1,000-point games tonight, maybe more.
Well, Kenny Doyle gets that leg accomplished, and we have a 2-2 score line again, bud. And for those of you who are going to ask eventually, let me just beat you to the punch. The screen right here is going to show you a 3-2 score line. Ignore it. It is 2-2. The score line up top is what matters. The board will count the count up to start the match as a leg towards the winner of that one. So ignore that completely. Look at that. Ooh.
What we got
the pie
there?
chart showing who's winning and losing. Nick, what do you got, bud?
Looks like a lot of people are going towards Rick Henze this evening, as he did win out on the tiebreaker against Kenny Doyle before, and just barely lost to Soldier in the most recent match we covered. So right now, a lot of people going for Henze, although I think Kenny Doyle is going to have something to say about that if he keeps playing like he did last leg.
Well, it starts off with just 3 singles to back up Rick's 3 singles. That's different. That's not. Rick Henze, boom, goes to the dynamite. The 9th so far. This is leg number 5. We're on pace for a major evening of 9 marks.
I was going to be honest with you. I didn't think we were going to have a big 9-mark affair going into this match, especially with just a little lag in the action. Maybe we'd have seen that, but hey, we're off to the races now.
It's not quite record pace yet, but it's heading that direction if they keep up this, because they only had 1 in the first leg, I believe.
Well, this is the thing. These guys haven't hit the middle of the match groove yet. This is leg 5 in a race to 9. I think we've got a couple to go before these guys are really kicking. And then we're going to see some 9s, some back-to-back, maybe some back-to-back-to-back. I'm really excited for that one.
So here's the beauty of this game and the beauty of cricket in this game. The last leg, they were over 1,000 points each. In this leg, it's 100 to 50, and they're on the 15s already. There are many ways to win a leg, buddy.
Well, yeah, it's going to come into play. You look at Rick Henze. Henze's the kind of guy that's going to try to take his risk and close out the numbers when he can. Kenny's the old school mentality of I'm going to hang and bang. I'm going to just sit there on that number and point, and then take advantage when I need to. I think that very well could be something to keep an eye on is when Henze starts and when Kenny starts, how things start to maneuver. Because if Rick opens up with a nice little 7 mark, 9 mark potentially, he's not gonna stay on the same number. I feel he's gonna kind of close out another one.
Rick misses the bowl 2 times in a row. That's different. Speaking of different, did you see that there's someone actually throwing next to Rick Henze tonight? I don't think I've ever seen that on any of the CSC Challenger Series streams that he's been on.
I saw that at the very beginning of the stream, and I kind of was curious too. I said, man, I didn't even know that they had another board right next to Henze. How many boards do they have there in Rick Henze's bar, the saloon?
Well, 4.8 wins that leg, and we have a 3-2 score line favoring what some consider the favorite in this match, Rick Henze.
And just think about what you just said there. The favorite Rick Henze. Last season, we were not saying that. This season, we are. And that just shows how much his game has grown in such a short period of time.
I'll be honest with you. Rick Henze is still one of those players that everybody knows up in his neck of the woods, but still hasn't made that nationwide presence. He's starting to make it here in the CSC. I went and did a triple bowl stream. That was my very first stream I did with USA Darts, and I was like, yeah, here's who I got winning this bad boy, as we see a nice 9 mark there. And people were, man, watch out for Rick. Rick's a great player, and there was a lot of Chip Andersons too. So two names I really didn't know nothing about, and now look at him.
And that's something we touch on in this interview, and that the audience will get to hear a little bit during the halftime here. But one of the things I talked with Rick, I was like, last time I felt like you were a complete unknown presence in this bracket, and now you are a dominant force once again, getting to the same spot and taking more legs off Leonard Gates than anybody else has ever. And how that, I asked him, how does it feel when you go to tournaments now and outside your area, people are recognizing you and people are coming to you, and he talks about how surreal that feeling is and how something kind of just humbles you and makes you realize this is a little bit bigger than just me throwing darts at a board.
Yeah, it's really cool to think about this, bud. Think about this. Rick Henze keeps getting better every CSC Challenger Series. He keeps improving. That's a scary thought for opponents going into next CSC Challenger Series and beyond, right?
He said last season when he played Kenny, he was neck and neck every step of the way. And since he's gotten better since then, he expects to have a little bit of an edge here. And he's proven that he's a dominant player. There's no other way to really put it. Like, you don't watch Henze and see less than a 5-0 almost every single time he plays.
He has no flaw in his throw. There's zero flaw in Rick Henze's throw, besides he's left-handed. Other than that, there's no flaw in his throw. He is dead straight, dead calm in every aspect of that throw except for his arm moving forward. It's so smooth. Kenny can at times get up a little lean, a little hop into it. Just the consistency from both players is phenomenal, and there's nothing wrong with Kenny's throw, let's be honest, obviously. But with that type of throw from Rick Henze, he's only going to keep getting better and better and more consistent and more consistent. And there are 6 boards at the Rustic Saloon, Will.
There we go. 6 boards. That's nice. Nice little 7 mark there from Henze as well.
Brandon Westover in chat saying, notice Kenny has marked his toe line this time with a marker, as it's hard to judge with the metal line. And exactly, his foot's dead center on that. And I saw Nick Slepik doing that earlier. I was wondering what was going on, and now that's exactly what that is. That's a very interesting note. I wonder if that's going to be a difference maker for him.
A little bit more comfort from Kenny Doyle. And you're right, I've played at Skybox. There is not any marker whatsoever for where you just stood, where you're used to throwing from, whereas a typical throw line has all of those different markers added. They're all a little bit off or a little bit different from each other, but you find that exact spot every time, it seems. So that is a great thing to point out. Well done.
Henze not happy with that one. Wanted a little bit more. So Kenny's looking for just the 1, 2, 3 on the 16s potentially. He's not that kind of player. He's going to point at least a little bit. But let's see if he takes a look here. Should.
He did. Just on the wire.
I did want to just mention real quick, if you're tuning in on USA Darts and you haven't followed our page, do so, because we're 3 away from 20,000 followers. So
wow.
Do so if you could. I wanted to mention that, as I think we'll be doing a giveaway here soon if we potentially hit that 20,000. So, yeah, followed us. Do so.
Well, let me be the first then to congratulate you on that, bud, because that is quite the accomplishment. That's really cool, dude.
Yeah, we can't complain. I think when we started this out, we had maybe 11, maybe 12. And to grow as much as we have is pretty incredible, pretty cool. So, yeah, kudos to all the viewers for tuning in and following. It's partnerships like this with the PPD. It's just going to help us grow. So, shout out to you guys. Look at this, 5.06 for Kenny Doyle, as we're going to tie it up going into a last leg decider before our break.
Yeah, it's going to be 4-3 one way or another. Rick Henze has the throw going into the 7th leg. If you have not done so already, guys, leave a comment in our chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know who you have in the matchup. Just doing so will enter you into A to Z Darts live stream giveaway tonight. Today's raffle winner will receive a set of Target Vaporate Black Purple Soft Tip darts in an 18-gram weight. Free darts as Rick Henze, boom goes the dynamite to get us started in this leg. We have 11. And lucky number 7 on that leg.
Seven mark from Kenny. Let's see if Henze goes for a quick close here. Yep, he does. Told you, he's just not the kind of player that likes hanging around with those numbers. He wants to close them and close them quick. Move on with his day.
The player that will get the first lead by 2 games or more is going to be making a huge difference. I didn't get a chance to have that featured in our interview just because it got cut for time, but Henze said he wanted to be up 5-2 by the break to feel really comfortable in his position, and that's not going to be the case here, as both these players are kind of looking for that first real edge in the match.
Well, would you look at that? That's an interesting little tidbit there. And I have to mention this name of the city because it might be one of the coolest ones we've seen, and definitely a Virginia city. West by God, Virginia.
All right.
So shout out to that. We got Orlando, of course, in the house. Minnesota in the house.
There's a big 9 mark there from Kenny Doyle.
Sunshine State Santa getting another 9 mark on the board. You got people rooting for the Southpaws just because, you know, I have that. Brandon Westover chiming in saying awfully ambitious to expect to be up 5-2 against Kenny. He didn't say expect. He said hoping to be going into the break to have a little bit of an ease about it. A lot of Florida in the house tonight. Boom goes the Floridians, maybe, you know?
Hey, they tune in and support Mr. Kenny Doyle as we're seeing Meredith back there chiming in this evening. I don't think she's a frequent flyer of coming down there to support Kenny all the time. She does so when she can. So she's in the house tonight. I think Austin Braswell as well as his wife there as well, sitting at the table.
Shout out to Austin Braswell once again, having some board difficulties earlier today. He, of course, comes in clutch once again to make sure our board is going good. And even was messaging us before the stream, hey, is there anything I can do for you guys? Is everything working okay? So just shout out to Austin Braswell for helping out, not only as a player, but as someone helping us make sure the cameras are up and going.
How about LBC California in the house right now? That's pretty awesome.
Indeed. Sean, it's official, buddy. 20,000.
Nicely done, bro. That's so
Heyo.
cool, man. Hats off to you.
Appreciate everybody.
4-3 score line. Rick Henze going to our break. Is that what you expected, bud?
Honestly, I figured we were going to be neck and neck. I think it was either going to be 4-3 Kenny or 4-3 Rick, and it's siding towards Rick. So we'll see if that continues. I wonder. Hang on to your seats, folks, and stay right here. It's the CSC Challenger Series brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. We'll finish this matchup after a quick interview from our players.
This is Kenny Doyle playing for C&M Darts out of Skybox Sports Tavern in beautiful Kissimmee.
Well, Kenny Doyle, welcome back, and welcome back everyone to the CSC Challenger Series. After a brief break from the Tournament of Champions, we are right back into the action. First off, Kenny, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Nick.
Now looking at your opponent tonight, Rick Henze. He is a phenomenal shot, and we watched him play against Soldier in what some would call the best match we've ever covered, between going down to the tiebreaker and how intense that was. Last season, he knocked you out in this very same matchup to get to the finals. What do you plan on doing differently this time?
That one came down to the tiebreaker. He won the diddle, and I couldn't catch him. Hopefully, this one comes late, and this time I pull it out. I'll play him the same way, though, straight up, and whoever shoots better is going to win. That's all. It'll be tough.
Well, and I would say you two are just the most excellent sparring partners. You guys are phenomenal shots, and it's always neck and neck when you guys play against each other. And my question is, since you're both such talented shooters, do you believe that either you or Rick has the ability to double dip someone of Soldier that does play on what some would consider the true professional level?
It'll be tough to double dip him, but you know what? Just go in and try to take it one match at a time. Because if you can pull that first one out, pressure shifts back to him.
Well, we're excited to see how this will unfold. But of course, tonight, Kenny Doyle going against the juggernaut, Rick Henze. I'm excited to see how this plays out. Is there anything you want to say to your friends, fans, family, or anybody else watching along?
Man, I appreciate all the support. I met a lot of people at the TOC, and I have more support than I ever imagined, and I appreciate it.
Well, we're excited to be supporting you once again, my friends, in your match against Rick Henze, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck.
It's Kenny Doyle, and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
I'm Rick Henze. I shoot out of the Rustic Saloon, and I play for Midwest Coin.
Rick Henze, welcome back to the CSC Challenger Series Division 1. This is the third place match, a familiar position, as last season we covered you going against none other than Kenny Doyle in this very same matchup. But first up, before we get into nitty gritty, how have you been?
Been feeling really good.
Well, we're excited to see that transpire on the dartboard, that good feeling, because last time we had you on the stream, Leonard Gates, you duked it out so hard that literally we thought the internet was going to crash with how great of a match it was. The double tie on the diddle, the neck and neck, the match of the CSC. I think that might be our best match we've ever covered. What was it like playing in that scenario?
Oh, it was. I mean, it was up and down. It's like, I feel like, oh, I got this, and then you miss a round, and then you're like kind of go into panic mode for a second, and then you're like, okay, regroup, it's fine, and then it's, you know, it's Gates. It's like he just finds that way to win, and it's so hard to get past him.
Well, I mean, you did better than anybody else has ever done. You were the first one to get 6 legs off him. Then Millar got 7. Then you're like, I can beat that. And then you were going all the way for the 9-mark record. It was incredible stuff that we were watching. But also, last time you played Kenny Doyle in the CSC, when you guys played the third place match last season, I remember coming out of that match, and it went down to the tiebreaker just like the Soldier match did. We called it the most even skilled match that we've ever seen. You guys were literally doing identical darts, neck and neck. Do you expect to see a little bit of the same tonight, or how do you expect tonight to go?
Well, I'm hoping to be a little bit better than I was last time, of course, just because tiebreakers are no fun at all. But I love playing him. He's fun. He's a stand-up guy. It's, you know, we're both of us are going to have fun, and we're going to try and put on a show.
One of the things that we talked about last season was how not too many people knew your name, yet you were one of the best talents in North America. Now I feel like that's not the case anymore. A lot of people know who Rick Kinsey is, and they see you and like, oh, I might not want to play against this guy. He's kind of tough. What does it feel like to have a little bit of like infamy and notoriety behind your name?
Well, it makes the last 13 years of trying and people pushing me, and you know, I've always wanted to play against the best since the first year I started, you know, at a 16 and a 1.6 average. And then, you know, it's like, I can beat this guy. And then you fight and fight and fight. And now, you know, to be recognized with some of the top players that I still feel are the top players in the U.S. is to have my name be in that group is surreal. It's really cool.
And then what do you want to say to your friends, fans, family, anybody else that'll be watching along this evening?
Oh, my wife, for one, she needs to just relax and don't yell at the television like she does every time. And my friends and everybody, the support that I have that's behind this and the messages that I've gotten today, I 100% appreciate it more than any of you guys could even know.
We're excited to see you back at the board once again. Rick Henze versus Kenny Doyle here in our third place matchup, and to see who goes on to the finals to play Leonard Gates. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck.
I'm Rick Henze. You're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
All righty, back once again. Kenny Doyle versus Rick Henze. Scoreline currently Henze up 4-3 here as we see Kenny Doyle of C&M Darts in Orlando, Florida at the Skybox. Taking a couple practice throws before we get back underway. Well, folks, Sean is the doozy. Let's see if it finishes up the same way that it started. I think we're in for a little bit more. What do you have to say, man?
Dude, notoriously in these type of situations, the 8th leg is a big one. And I mean that the players tend to throw some of the best darts in leg number 8 from time to time. Every once in a while, though, there's a bit of a slack leg, and it usually comes from the player who is leading in that moment. So anything can happen here, and I think the scoreline of 4-3, anything can happen moving forward. Both these guys are winning on their throw, except for the one leg that was broken by Rick Henze early. This is going to go down to who can throw in the really big game at a timely point in this match. That is going to make the entire difference here. I cannot wait to see how this thing ends.
Same here, man. Same here. I hope you guys join us for the ride. Share this out there. Let your friends, let your family know that we're live here for our third place match of Division Number 1. Rick Kinsey, Kenny Doyle. Let's see how Kenny goes about this one. He stays right up there for a nice 6 mark. 260, plays 171 here. Let's see if Rick Kinsey hammers in a couple and thinks about going upstairs, because I think that's what he's going to try to do. Nope, not now.
Yeah, he stayed down there for all 3. We might start to see a little bit more of a traditional format style of strategy from both players for a couple legs here. Just this is the middle section of the match. This is usually where things either get heated up or they start to slow down a little bit. You kind of want to stay with what you know. If you're a big pointer, you're going to point right now. If you are a quick closer, you're going to do the quick close stuff right now. You saw Rick take a stab at closing the 20s with the last 2 darts. I don't know if I like that last dart because of this.
Let's see. Big triple there. Stays right there for another one. 7 mark for Kenny Doyle. So yeah, Henze's got to answer now, and he's got to answer with at least a 7 mark. There's a big triple. How about another? He'll go upstairs to close for sure. Yep.
I liked it the whole time. I'm telling you now.
That's the kind of player Henze is. He doesn't care if he's 3 points ahead or 103 points ahead. He's gonna try to close that number if he thinks it'll give him the upper hand.
You saw Kenny just try to steal one there. That's not Kenny like very often.
And
with only that small of a lead.
Kenny's had a handful of 9 marks on that 17.
Wow. Rick Henze just nonchalantly closes the 17 too. He knows that's Kenny's number.
Exactly. Now they're starting to play this game of I'm going to go after the numbers I'm comfortable with, and you're going to have to take it away from me.
Rick does there. Let's see how it affects the rest of this leg. He's throwing a 6.33 against the throw, which is the type of average, if not more, that you need to do against the throw in order to win the leg.
I'll be open and honest here.
Go for it. It's about time.
Harley, Kayla, don't let us have a 5-week lag again, because I feel like we're both the rust bucket right now.
Well, before they send me angry messages, the reason there's a lag is because someone went to Alaska for a couple days there. I don't know who that would have been, so my apologies there.
Somebody just decided to just go off on an adventure mid-CSC. How dare you, sir?
I know. Originally, we did calculate the weeks wrong. It was not. It was supposed to be after it was over. Unfortunately, math is not my specialty, and that's why I talk about darts.
Yep, same. You can be at the highest level of dart commentary in North America without knowing your math very well.
I will say this: you're a little bit more professional than both of us, buddy, since you're actually behind the mic on a constant basis, just getting done with the CDC. Congrats to you on a successful Continental Cup. I know that was kind of a cool deal sitting alongside John Part. Kudos to you, sir, for filling a little checklist off the bucket list for you, I'm sure.
It was so surreal, buddy, to be honest with you, that it was never written down on a bucket list. That's one of those dreams that almost seems unattainable. For a teacher from Indiana who is an amateur commentator to be sitting with arguably the best commentator in the world and honestly the best production team. To be asked to be a part of that team was an absolute honor, and I really give a lot of credit to you and Will, or you and Nick, for making me a lot better, and also to my guys at To The Point Streaming, Jason and Tim, for making me a lot better at commentary as well. It honestly has made me a lot better at the job, and hopefully I did a great job for all of you viewers that watched this weekend and didn't take away from the phenomenal darts that all 16 players threw in the Continental Cup, because it was really about them.
Well, here we go. Henze needing 3 bowls here.
Oh,
Oh, and
you're
this is
saying there's a
why
chance.
Kenny did exactly what he did for a reason. He went bulls first, closed him out, and then went ahead and took care of the 15s just in case. And he's going to do it, buddy. He's going to do
One
it.
more.
One more. Oh! Oh, my word. As Wendy is in the background going, come on, what happened?
Well, just by the hair of his chinny chin, Rick Henze escapes with that win. And he takes a 5-3 lead, creating a little bit of separation from Sunshine State Sanda, who threw a great dart at that one too.
Well, he'll shake that one off. He's a veteran. He's a savvy veteran. He's been here, done that one numerous times. I mean, honestly, he was 100 points down. For him to even get a look is kind of one of those things. You can feel bad about it, but look at this strategy. He goes for the white horse opener.
Yeah, it seems like it's affecting him a lot to lose that last leg. It's honestly incredible how quickly these players bounce back from something like that. I wouldn't be able to. And
Yeah.
look at that. Rick Henze goes white horse right on top of it. He says, this is how you do it, buddy.
That is so insane that he did that. I mean, honestly, think about that. He didn't go for points. He said, I'm going to throw this right back at you and show you how it's done.
Especially knowing that Kenny Doyle loves 17s. So even if he throws that perfect 9 mark, it's still Kenny advantage when he comes back. As you can see it right there, it might end up hurting him at the end of the day, but I love it anyway.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if that was the best strategy from Rick myself to open up
Oh
that
my
way,
gosh.
but wow.
Look
Oh.
at that. Boom goes the dynamite. This is a demolition on the dartboard from these two.
They're just showing off. Just showing off. Why
They're just
not?
trying to give us a good show.
This is an exhibition match. They don't care about the money.
If there's one thing we know about Kenny Doyle, he's a showman. And that looked like it was a double. That must be right on the wire, so to speak.
I just want to
Of the double
mention,
bowl
now
there.
that the craziness of this league has calmed down a little bit, as someone that's played League with Kenny before, when Kenny does those misses, in that previous league, he missed a dart at the single 15 to try to close, and then he missed that last dart at the bull. And it's not something that will bother him, more so that he will literally just turn and say, I guess I just wasn't that focused. And then he goes right back to do what he's doing, and you can see he jumped right back into it. He's not going to linger on the thought at all.
It's crazy for me to say, but that's like an old school gentleman's game those guys just had, except in the highest fashion, like 6-0s apiece. Saying, no, we won't point. We'll just battle it out here. 83-82 was that final score there. And I was sitting here thinking we're going to have 4, maybe 5 of these 1,000+ matches. Nope.
Yeah, they're playing pretty quick legs, actually. It's already leg 10 in this, and it's only 10:27. We've only been going for less than an hour live, and they've been playing for probably less than 45 minutes at this point. As you see another 9 mark, this one from Rick Henze, number 15. My goodness, these guys are absolutely throwing fire. We knew that you said it best. The middle legs, when they got settled and really started rolling, that this had potential for happening. An 8.0 right now for Rick Henze in this leg. Is this what you were talking about, bud?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, because they just get in this rhythm that it almost seems like Michael Smith-esque. They just literally grab their dart and release, grab their dart and release. And we're seeing it right now with Rick. He's really throwing some good stuff. And I mean, Kenny doesn't mess around either. You said the pace of this match, and you're right. If you watch these individuals, they're at the throw line right when that scoreboard pops open for them to throw, it's releasing.
Yeah, it's almost a tempo where your opponent is at the line ready to throw as you're walking back from the line, which I actually have a habit of doing as a player, is I'll be standing at the line. That's where I'll fist bump my opponent if that is the courtesy that is agreed upon as the match is going on. But
And
you're just seeing two heavyweights go at it right now, bud.
And talking about,
also,
go ahead,
oh.
go for it, go.
I was just gonna say, I'll say this little tidbit real quick is, these players in the CSC, they have to be cautious about when they go back to live play, not to be on the heel of the other individual. That's something I deal with playing online only, and then coming into a live setting is you're on the heel of the other individual. You're used to a quick pace match, and it can really hurt you, be detrimental in a live setting.
Well, Rick Henze is trying to increase his lead to 2 again. 3 bowls will do it. He's going to move over. I think that first dart was awkwardly above the double. Yeah, and he'll just hit the double on the second dart anyway.
6-4.
My, oh my. What a wonderful day this Monday is. Do you want to know how to become eligible to play in major PPT events like the CSC Challenger Series, buddy?
Let's hear it.
Players become eligible for those by playing in PPT leagues and daily remote tournaments, or DRTs. Leagues are starting daily. Just get involved by going to dartstoc.com and checking out the map. The map will show any location with G3 boards within the PPT system. You don't have to have, or they're always accepting new members. So if you're not seeing anything in your area, have your vendor contact us on the website. From there, players can sign up for leagues on the website. It doesn't take a ridiculous amount of games to be eligible either. Consistently playing 1 league a week will keep a player eligible for this event and other events like this in the future. Again, go to dartstoc.com to get signed up today.
Kudos
Hey.
to you, buddy.
Are we doing a live stream giveaway tonight or what?
Yeah, we are. Of course
What are we
we
giving
are.
away?
Well, we're giving away a set of Target Viper 8 black purple soft tip darts, an 18-gram weight. So like and comment to be entered into our giveaway this evening. As well, Sean, while we're chatting here, Kenny Doyle opened with the 2 mark. 7 mark was the answer from Rick Kinsey. And from there, Rick's gone to work. Let's see if Kenny can throw in a couple triples here, and that's exactly what he does. A 7 mark answer finally from Kenny Doyle. There's the man, Doug, right there.
No name Doug Bame in our chat.
How about that, Doug? Nice to see you here. Congrats on a fantastic finish. I know you were looking for the title, but unfortunately, it is what it is, man. You'll be back around, I know, for a fact.
Hanish says not until I'm dead. Hanish, by the way, I know that you're not excited that we benched Matt Ryan finally. I know you're not, because we're all excited to have Ellinger season getting started here for the Colts. Until next week. After this Commanders game, I might have a different tune, but right now I'm excited. Doug, and no, they don't give me any breaks. They work me like a dog, but I would have it no other way. I absolutely love sitting in this commentary chair, no matter what I'm doing, whether it's with my own live stream or partners promoting darts has been amazing. I love the CSC Challenger Series because I get to see darts like this. And who doesn't love to see 9 marks all day long? Boom goes the dynamite, Rick Henze.
I was wondering how Henze was going to answer after Kenny kind of shut the door on those 18s for him, and he answered in a fantastic way.
DartsTOC.com, Jack. A T as in Tom, which I realize the name Dom is also a thing.
Ooh, Henze's not happy with that one. Wanted more. So Kenny's going to have the opportunity if he hits a big triple on the 15s here. Now, does he take a chance? I think he does.
You have to. I think you absolutely have to in that scenario.
Well, we mentioned Doug. There's our king seat right there, Mr. Leonard Gates.
He's been waiting to hear his name. You see the paper open.
We might as
Come
well.
on, guys.
We might as well mention him. I guess we could. The man's averaging a 5.70 currently. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, and that doesn't even include the last couple. Well, it includes the last couple of matches, but that average has increased because of that. Did you see that double by Kenny? There's no doubles in cricket unless you hit it.
About that. Rick
Oh,
still
Rick
has an
had winning
opportunity
dart
here.
still.
Oh. Kara is yelling at the TV right now. The lovely Mrs. of Mr. Rick Henze.
I love it. And we saw Tyler actually in the chat as well. Rick's son, who is a beast on the dartboard as well. At the age of 19.
Yeah, he is. He is definitely a beast on the board. He's about as tall as Rick. I think he's actually a little bit taller than Rick. So he's a tower on the board. But yeah, I saw him take a nice top 16, just missing out to Larry Butler at the Music City Classic, his first steel tip event. That was pretty cool.
That is really cool. And speaking of Larry Butler, how about that 161 checkout at the Continental Cup? I don't know if you saw it. He only got 2 legs off of the phenom Joey Lanaugh, who just came out on fire, the hometown kid. But I mean, to hit a 161 checkout and a 112 checkout is just firing up the DeLorean, so to speak. And he's been on fire for the last year too. He's almost back to the top of his game, which is really cool to see.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Sean. Well, going after those 17s is Doyle again. Not as much as he wanted. Now, let's see if Henze quickly attacks these 17s. If I'm him, I do. I take those out first thing, and that's exactly what he does. Now on to the 18s, now the 16s.
Oh, he went 20s on the last start.
He went 20s to bang a little bit more points. That I don't know. I figured he'd go for them 16s, try to rip out the heart of Kenny Doyle, but
he turned the gun sideways and he was going for kill shots.
Henze in this half has been the one setting the pace, writing the story, and going along. I think Kenny is trying his best to stay in there and keep up, but right now, I mean, Henze's looking unbeatable.
Yeah, he's really catching pace as we see a nice what
Dynamite.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say a broom goes the janitor there.
I'm never gonna give you that. That's your thing.
Aaron Ham saying Tyler is also on track for the next CSC Division 1.
Back-to-back 9s as Kenny throws in a boom goes the Floridian for us here. But yeah, Aaron Ham, Tyler on track for next CSC Division 1. How about that? That would be quite the battle, father-son, if they draw each other at some point in the bracket. Woo!
7-0 from Rick Kinsey in that leg to make this a 7-5 match.
Rodney says, Broom, don't be a hater. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. I'm sure that was to you. But 7-5, Rick Henze 2 legs away, man. But as we've seen repeatedly throughout the CSC Challenger Series, everywhere that you see top quality darts, no lead is safe, and anything can happen. Especially in cricket, especially in a race to 9 all cricket. There's still time for Kenny Doyle.
It just takes a few rounds for you to feel like you maybe have lost your groove just a little bit. Maybe you weren't that 7 mark didn't hit, but maybe it was just 3 fat singles. But you were right on the wire. You know, that kind of brick wall feeling can kind of put you at a uneasy mindset towards the end of a match.
You can almost, did you see the little shake of the head there from Kenny? I wonder if in his mind he's like, this guy's just relentless right now. No win in any leg has been easy for Kenny. There have been 0 legs running away.
Think about it like this. Kenny has already had a CSC title to his name. Henze's still looking for his. Gates already has one as well. Henze is the odd one out and really wants it. And there's no other way to put it. I mean, you can hear in his voice, you can hear that confidence versus when we first interviewed him to now. He is a lot more confident, and he is just showing why he's one of the best in North America.
Yeah, and he just is throwing on a show here. 6.33 out the gates here in this leg as Kenny goes back to his signature 17s. They've been kind of letting him down in the last couple of legs. Have you noticed that? He just has not been hitting the trip of the 17s as consistently as we've seen throughout this entire tournament.
And that can be detrimental. Exactly what I was talking about. Maybe you start to feel that little lapse of confidence in those numbers, and man, look at that.
How about another 9 mark from Rick Henze? And he is throwing first start, hitting the trip 17 every time too, which is a killer for Kenny.
Well, Ken Rip saying, pay attention, kids. That's how you make an adjustment. And Ken is the teammate, the doubles partner of Mr. Rick Henze most of the time. So as a gentleman that's probably tuning in, supporting his friend right now, hoping he's going to go on into the finals for another chance at Mr. Soldier Leonard Gates.
I think he's also seeing it from a first-hand perspective, up close and personal. The rise in average, the rise in ruthlessness and confidence from Rick Henze. This is a game that is just as much mental as it is talent when you get to this type of level, and maybe even more so between the ears. Confidence goes such a long way.
Well, Kenny's very pragmatic, right? He's very much a realist when it comes to darts. And other players looking at the scenario, looking at the game state right now and knowing where they're at in the match, might start feeling a lot of pressure and feeling like their back's against the wall as the match is nearing towards the end. Kenny's going to approach it the same way he does every single time. And I think that is going to be his X factor and why you can't count him out yet, even though right now there is a clear advantage for Henze.
Looks like the man from Houston is ready to go right now, if need be. Throwing in his let's rock emojis and giving us the gun show there from Mr. Gates.
I don't know if you folks at home can see it. You can see just a little touch there, but Kenny is definitely walking back, speaking with Nick, talking to Meredith. About every throw, he's going back there and saying something, mentioning something. I wonder what that chat's like.
I can imagine Kenny being a little bit more analytical, a little bit more just vocal about strategy, what he's doing, what Rick's doing. Maybe using them as teammates just as much in a singles match as he would for a doubles match or a triples match. He has his comfort people right there.
And those are his partners. Meredith plays with him in mixed, and in the men's events, Nick plays with him. So there's obviously, you're right, of that level of comfort.
He goes, you don't want to know. Austin Braswell. I love it.
Well,
Yeah, he is
Henze,
also there behind the scenes. But yeah, Henze is just throwing ridiculous right now. In the driver's seat to take an 8-5 lead and force Kenny to win 3 in a row. Or 4 in a row is what I meant to say, because math.
well, this
But
is the
Kenny's
thing.
trying to hit a lot of double bowls here.
In the back of Henze's mind, he knows I got to do enough to beat Kenny Doyle here, but he's got to think like I've got to put up a nice NPR that makes me think I can put up an even better NPR to take to Leonard in the next round if it potentially happens like that.
Hey, winning darts here for Kenny Doyle.
Well, let's see it, Kenny. Come on, buddy. Big double.
There
There
it
it
is.
is. He's going to take his chances. He's got to.
Oh. And he I know what word that was, even from that screen. It was not a pretty one. It rhymes with duck, I think. But he was given an opportunity. I did not like the move from Rick actually to point first, needing only 3 bowls, even up 2 points. I think that throwing all 3 darts of the bowls was the much better strategy there. That being said, he might get away with it, and he does. And 2 darts, 5.63, breaks the throw. He is now 1 leg away from the finals and a rematch again with Leonard Gates.
Man.
Have you been doing your job? What's the averages here, bud?
I think I messed up somewhere along the road. But actually, no, I didn't. We are good. So Rick's got averages of 5.36, 5.67, 4.80, 5.85, 5.84, 5.46, 7.0, and a 5.63. Those are his winning averages so far.
I don't know if you saw earlier, Doug Boehm saying between the ears is the harder thing to practice.
Yeah.
That's the one thing where confidence is earned more than it is just had, if that makes sense. Doug earned a lot of confidence this weekend, for sure. Rick has been earning confidence over the past season, the past year. It's great to see those types of things happen, but it's been quite a ride, bud. Elena saying, I don't want to wait. Let's see the rematch tonight. I'm sure Soldier's at home. He's like, nah, I'm good with next week.
Who knows where Soldier is right now? He could be
he's throwing
anywhere.
darts. You know he's throwing darts right now.
Well, I do know that he's got an appearance in Singapore probably sooner rather than later. I think next month for the world stage. I believe he'll be making run to the Grand Slam, and then he'll be making a run to the Alley Pally. So a busy schedule ahead for you, sir.
I cannot wait to root him on all of those events. And Kenny Doyle trying to get the job done here. Rick taking a little bit of a leg off, which he's earned. He's earned a little break, per se. Up 3 legs on Kenny right now. A chance to kind of settle down. And while that's happening, guys, A to Z Darts is sponsoring a live stream giveaway tonight. Tonight's raffle winner will receive a set of Target Vapor 8 black purple soft tip darts in an 18-gram weight. Free darts are up for grabs. All you have to do is leave a comment in our chat and hit the like button on this video on Facebook. It's that simple. Kenny just needs one more point here and doesn't get the point. And when I say 1 more point, any of those darts that he threw at a point that hit would have counted. But leave a comment in our chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, guys. And hit that share button while you're at it, because this is going to go down to the wire here at the end. Kenny gets it done, 8-6.
This
Needs
is the
to
hard
break
part.
the throw twice.
This is the hard
That's
part.
The hard part.
You have to imagine, as much as Kenny's an accomplished veteran of the game, that this is a big task to surmount right now.
Well, fellas, and folks at home, before we get too far into this, don't forget later on to check out the A to Z Darts brand of the month. All October long, we're featuring Target darts and their accessories. This will be a nice 9-mark opener from Rick Henze, all on the 20s. Love it.
Before you keep going, that's going to make it a lot harder for Kenny in this leg, I think.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I think this is going to be pretty close to over if Henze is able to put in another 7-mark here. Let's see if he does it. No. 5-mark? No. So potential. Let's see.
All right, keep going. Sorry.
Well, I was just letting you know, you guys get a free gift with every Target purchase. So head on over to atozdarts.com. Get involved on their Halloween specials and their Think Pink promotion, which of course is a breast cancer awareness month. So do that right after the stream, atozdarts.com. Another 9-mark. Every time we try to do an ad, it's just going to happen. Look at this.
It's like they hate us. Boom goes the dynamite. How about 3 9-marks and 4 throws between the players?
And that's why...
do it again.
And that's why they... He is. Look at this. I told you back to back to back.
What is going on?
Jeez
Boom
Louise.
goes the Floridian there. You can't even get a word in edgewise because I keep yelling out, boom goes the dynamites.
Start an ad. It's potential here. Hey, shout out to Lost Boy Darts. They're in here asking us, Will Stuart here? Yep. checked out one of their streams today. They're an up-and-coming stream, so big shout-out to them. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
I'm going to follow them right now. What's it called?
Lost Boys Darts.
Sounds good.
Yeah, they just started a Grandboard stream, so always love to check out those Grandboard streams. Just look at this, buddy. Oh, trip one, just outside.
You blew it. 6.5 to a 6.5 here. As soon as Kenny Doyle raises the level of his game, Rick Henze just does the exact same. That's a frustration for any opponent, right? You're like, I know what I need. A 6.5 in this leg should win it. Technically. Nope. Not if it's against Rick Henze. Because he's going to keep pounding the pressure on. And Kenny do that last start in frustration, which you don't see very often from a Kenny Doyle.
No, you really don't. But Henze's closing the door here as we speak.
Yes, he is.
Looking for another opportunity at Leonard Gates.
Yeah. I think Rick Henze is going to be added to the naughty list for sure after this is over. He could win it right here. He's going Bulls first. Oh.
He gets a little head nod.
Be back. But yeah, Kenny that was almost like, all right, respect. This has been Rick Henze's night. I thought that this was going to go the distance. It looked like it was going the distance, but Kenny Doyle is going to finish the CSC Challenger Series Division I in third place for the second straight season. Sorry about that. A 5.73 does it. Kenny is going to be gracious in defeat as always. Hats off. He did not lose that as much as Rick Henze won tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You're starting to see the cream come to the top when it comes to our CSC Challenger Series. I mean, we're seeing some very, very good averages in both our Division I and Division II brackets, and seeing individuals like Rick Henze make a name for themselves as individuals to beat in the darts world. So I'm really looking forward to our final. I know we're technically on the bill for next week. I do have some news for you fellas as I'll be coming back from which city. So you may be without me for a little bit. I may check in when I potentially can, but still looking forward to the match between Henze and Gates. And remember, this is all dependent on, I don't know, Leonard's got a schedule coming up that's going to be pretty intense too. So hopefully we can get this bad boy finished up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and based on the chat, based on Leonard in the chat, he is ready to go whenever needed. As I was close up there as it came back to me. I forgot that happens here at the end of the CSC Challenger Series. It's been so long. Thanks, Nick. That's why I love you.
You're welcome.
There he is. There he is. Yeah, so we're definitely looking forward to this final. I mean, it should be an interesting affair. It could be a double dip situation, so we could see our round out next week. We could see it, go to a last leg or last match decider where we see it come back after the week or the following week and try to finish this up as I get tongue-tied here. But yeah, we're looking forward to the match between Rick Henze and Leonard Gates. I know Henze's been having nightmares of the match previous, so I know he's been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, he's ready. I think he's ready for it. More than he's been having nightmares, I think he is ready for redemption, more like it. And he's going to get a shot. And if he throws like that, he's going to have an opportunity. But this is going to be crazy to say. He might still need to raise it up a little bit more because we know Leonard Gates. He's going to raise it up if someone else does. So it's going to be a battle. I'm hoping for a lot of haymakers. I'm hoping for a lot of 9 marks. I know it's going to happen, but it's going to be tough to beat the last time they played a few weeks ago in the 9-8 last leg decider with 34 9 marks. I have a feeling this is going to break it. I really do.
I was about to say, be on high alert, folks. I think we're going to beat it too. So Definitely want to tune in and check it out next Monday night.
And just want to
Nick?
acknowledge to Kenny Doyle, congratulations on third place, as he might not be making to finals, but he is getting a $1,750 check in his name. Not a bad payday, as he's doing something right. He's getting a nice checkout, as now it's $2,250 for second and $4,500 for first place here. A lot of money left in this pot.
There we go.
Rick Henze's the only player, or Rick Henze. Kenny Doyle is the only player in CSE seasons 1 through 3 to finish on the podium all 3 times. He's the only player that's left that's played all 3 times, but that's not the point.
It's not the point. William Ballmer saying, I'm just going to be going on vacation this week. No, I'll be streaming Which City Open 2022. So if you folks are looking for some steel tip entertainment this weekend, tune in live on USA Darts Facebook and YouTube pages.
Well, I was working in Alaska. You know how many USA Darts business cards I was handing out to the people of judo? All 10 of them are going to be tuning in next week.
There we go. There we go. I'm sure the internet service is great up there. Fantastic.
Guys, before we go, leave a comment in our chat right now. Which of the 3 of us looks the most beautiful? And you're automatically entered into tonight's raffle to potentially win a set of Target Vapor 8 black purple soft tip darts in 18 grams, brought to you by A2ZDarts.com. We're going to be doing that raffle at some point in the next, I don't know, 10, 15 hour, 24 hours, 36 hours, depends on who's on vacation when. And we'll get it done. But leave that comment in the chat, guys. Your support tonight, your support all CSC Challenger Series season long is such an appreciation for us. It's awesome to see all the players in the chat. It's awesome to see all the top shots. We got both finalists for the Continental Cup in the chat tonight, which is so cool. It's honestly been a wild ride over the last year and a half, bud, and it just keeps getting better and better.
You are certainly correct, sir, and it's been a crazy ride to say the least. But I'm gonna hang on as tight as I can and keep on going, because we're not done yet. We've got a lot more to bring you, more content coming your way. Hang on tight, folks. Join us for the ride. William Stuart here, Sean Green alongside me, or below me is Mr. Nick Dichiria. We'll see you next week. For Rick Henze, Leonard Gates, Division 1 Finals.
Yeah, you won't want to miss that one, guys. I can tell you that much. It's going to be fireworks.
Boom goes the finals, coming soon.